There are flashpoint moments in history where events could have unfolded in any direction, changing the course of human history forever. Where leaders, kingdoms and countries are at a crossroad, a turning point, a breaking point, a crucial moment, a moment of truth. Let's discover these alternative possibilities here today in Total War Flashpoint. Hey guys, my name is Simpzy. How are you all doing? Welcome back to another Total War Flashpoint campaign. Here today, we're going to be playing as Great Britain on Darth mod. So guys, if you want to see more Flashpoint campaigns on the channel, leave the video a like, subscribe if you're around here with notifications on, and let me know other Flashpoint scenarios you would like me to do. The top rated comment will be the next video. So, welcome back. So, if you haven't gone and watched my Roman Flashpoint video, I recommend it. We fought off and faced against Hannibal Barca. So, the scenario, the Flashpoint scenario here today is the American Revolution. It's currently 1783. We've been thrown out of the 13 colonies. So the scenario here today is, of course, the American Revolution. And the main objective is to take back the 13 colonies and destroy the United States. That is the main objective for this Darth mod Great Britain series. Okay, we might have some European intervention. I'm really sort of going to halt my expansion of India, but I really want to try and focus on the Americas. Okay guys, well, let's get stuck and right into it. So, this video is going to be like an hour or so long here today, and I'll also put the Darth mod link in the description below if you guys would like to download it and play along with me. So, we're playing as Great Britain in this time period. Our fiscal navy capacity is our greatest asset. I think I read something a while ago that HMAS Victory was worth 39 cotton factories. So, the best way to sort of deal with the United States, who we're not at war with just yet, is probably trying to block their ports down the east coast of America. We'll try and throw our troops into Canada, and then we'll slowly but surely make our pathway down. So, let's have a look at the European theatre firstly. So, diplomacy-wise on the world stage, we currently have an alliance with Austria, the Maratha Confederacy, the Iroquois, Hanover, and Portugal. We're currently at war with the French and the Barbary States. We've got a decent amount of trade rights. I'm going to try and sue for peace with the French if we can. And let's try and start off by that. What are they going to say? Okay, so they've automatically rejected straight up. Okay, we're going to go through our lists and try and see what our military capacity is. So we might have to push it into Paris. I don't particularly want to, because I want this to be focusing on the American Revolution primarily. But we might have to do some stuff like that, because if they're not going to peace out with me, it might be our next best bet. So we've disembarked here with John Churchill. Let's move you back to London, England. We probably could destroy that army if we wanted to. I think I've just nuked his movement points. Nah, regardless, we'll throw back to London. We'll rally up. If we are going to go back over there, we're better off going with the full force. Okay, so we'll keep... I want to try and keep my navy out here. So at the moment, recruitment-wise, we have 33rd Foot Line Infantry. We've got some Royal Welsh Fusiliers, Grenadiers, Line Infantry there, Militia. We have our Light Dragoons as well. So we've got a secondary army here with Paul Butterfield. We'll allow him to be rallied up within England itself. So we've nearly got a full stack. And we haven't really got that much of an army here. Can we sort by regions? Is probably our best bet. Okay, so this basically looks like everyone here within Europe. Okay, so let's move over to the American theatre. So we currently have Upper Canada, Quebec, Moose Factory, York Factory, most of Canada up here, and we also have a decent navy. Okay, let's try and rally everyone up at Upper Canada, because we're going to have to push over Iroquois territory at some point to push against... Oh, actually, we can actually circumnavigate this. Right, because this is technically not our border here. Oh, you're kidding me. We might need to go through we're allied with the Iroquois, so we might be able to move through their lands. That might be a better idea. Okay, so who do we have in here? We have Timothy Gosling. He's going to be the commander in the American front. Let's move our army out of Quebec, and we'll get them to rally up at Montreal as well. So we've nearly got half a stack. There's no point of keeping a massive garrison here up in the north at Moose Factory. So let's send some of these colonial volunteers south. That's going to keep our public order okay. It's not going to be in our best interest to move people from York Factory, I guess. But it's probably not a bad idea having a small garrison within there. And a secondary one up here. And in Newfoundland, we haven't got anyone here as well. Crikey. Okay, so we do have some reinforcements here in Fort Nashwauk, so we'll try and move you over here as well. Okay, we've got a decent navy here, so let's try and move you probably to hold this strait, so nothing can come down within. Okay, and that's basically all our troops in the Americas. I'll quickly check India here. We've got a decent amount of units here, but I have no real ambition to push into India just yet. Like I said, I really want to try and focus on the American revolution. That is the primary objective for who's in charge now. George III, he's made the decision that the embarrassing defeat to the United States, as they call themselves, needs to be put down. Okay, it's going to be interesting to see how well the United States actually perform in this. So, by the look of it here, we're going to have a decent army just basically holding Calcutta. Look, I think that's okay, because you never know. The Maratha or maybe the Mughal Empire could very well declare war upon me. Okay, so that's now done. Let's quickly have a look at our lists. Let's sort by fleet. So we've got a navy here in the Caribbean. Oh yeah, I forgot about these. We've got Bahamas, Port Royal, Jamaica. And we've also got this here as well. Right. There's not a huge army down here really sort of sucking up our funds or anything. No, not by the look of it. I'm not really that... I don't really care too much about my Caribbean territories just yet, even though they're quite important due to the sugar, tobacco, economic factors. But I basically want to try and basically naval blockade the United States. So let's try and rally up my navy as best we can. Then we'll go through our fleets as such. So we've got a navy here in the Bay of Bengal. Let's pull you higher up to Bengal. So then we've got a fleet here in the north western Atlantic. We have Paul Kitchen here further south near Calcutta. I read an interesting stat about Sri Lanka recently. I am from Tasmania in Australia, by the way, and Tasmania, we're not going to be able to see it here of course, but if you're an Australian you know, is the same size as Sri Lanka, and the population difference is staggering. In modern day Sri Lanka there are 22 million people that live on this island, compared to Australia in Tasmania, there's only 500,000 or so. Like, how densely populated is this place? It just shows you how vast and just sort of empty Australia is, even one of the states. Right, so let's move away from the Caribbean here. How far can you actually get north? You can nearly actually rally up there, which is great to see. We've nearly got a large navy in the Atlantic, but basically I want to try and navally blockade. So they have Maine, New York, New England, Philadelphia, Maryland, Virginia, the Carolinas, and Georgia. Florida's under the control of Spain. We've got New Orleans, Louisiana under the control of the French, and we've also got the Texas under the Spanish. Now, do we actually border? We've got another army here, though. Because this is technically French territory, isn't it? Oh, we probably could push into that. Because I want to try and sue for peace with the French if I can, ideally. Well, we've got an army here. If we can take this fort, it's probably not a bad shout. Let's demand surrender. They've refused. Let's continue, as we can probably send this army down here. It's going to take 2 turns, though. What's the auto-resolve looking? Yeah, let's have a crack. I'm not too fussed about this territory, but I'm more sort of curious for my own defeat. Yeah, so we probably should have not auto-resolved that one, but I didn't really have time to play. We're going to play for like an hour and a half here today, and with the main objective to get rid of the United States. Hopefully we can do that here today. Okay, not really much else we can do now. We've gone through most of our lists, agents-wise as well. What I'm going to do is I would probably try and get you over somewhere. You're here in France operating. We've got you here in Dublin. Okay. Yeah, I'm just trying to think like where I could sort of move you guys a bit. Missionary's not a bad here. Okay, cool. Well, I'm going to dive into diplomacy, go through trade rights. It's going to take a while, and I'll let you know if anything sort of exciting happenings. I'll recap my alliance standing by the end of it. Okay, after all that, trying to basically beg for trade rights, the only interesting development was the fact we got an alliance with Sweden. So Austria, Hanover, Sweden, Iroquois, Maratha, and Portugal will stand with us more than likely. We didn't get much trade rights from anyone, unfortunately. Okay, let's dive into our government quite quickly. So George III is our current monarch. We're currently making 17k per turn as well, which is good. So, right, so let's look what we're working with our ministers. So we have our head of government, Robert Walpole. We'll kick him out. We could probably get a better one here if we can fire the minister. Now we've got Terence in. John... okay, he's alright. Justice is okay. My army's quite good. My navy's alright. We probably could move Bailey out of India, if I'm being honest. We can't seem to fire the other theatres. That's alright, we've changed up that. So at the moment, world trade, we're currently exporting sugar and furs from the Americas, and spices and tea from India. Good. Okay, resource and technology-wise, we've got our educational buildings in Cambridge and Inverness. As we are playing on a late campaign, due to the United States only being founded in the late, not the early, we've actually done a lot of the tech tree, so we really could go down some more sort of philosophy sort of routes, or maybe even some more sort of agriculture stuff. That's probably not too much of a bad shout, because most of the military stuff we actually have, which is good. Okay, well, I've gone and spent my war chest, essentially. So, we've got recruitment coming along in London. I want to try and get at least 2 full stacks within here. We could push on against France via the Americas, sort of, like, before we go to the Americas sort of route. If we could take Paris and sort of hold it, that'd be good. Or try and force the French into peace, because I don't particularly want to deal with them. I need to focus on the United States. So, we've got... some Welsh grenadiers coming in here, more grenadiers, frontline infantry. Within Scotland itself as well, we're actually getting some Scottish Highland Independent Elite infantry regiments, which are going to be awesome. Over in the Americas as well, we're currently getting some Hesse-Kassel Grenadiers. I think these are like the Hessian. I think these are the Germanic style, ethnically units. And within India, we are still... just holding our position here in Calcutta. I don't particularly want to advance much more. We'll just sort of hold for the time being. And, yeah, so once we've got 2 full stacks, a couple stacks here in the Americas, we'll have a crack at going to war with someone. Okay, we've actually been attacked here in the Channel by a French fleet, which isn't good. So we're probably going to lose our Channel Navy, which isn't good. So we're going to auto-resolve this one. Oh, victory! We have victory. We're going to be able to capture the enemy ships as well. So we still have naval supremacy in the English Channel. Oh, thank the gods for that. Well, thank God! And God save the Queen! Where was I? Mughal Empire. No, I don't particularly want to give out my technology. So we'll go through the end turn phases here. I might skip a couple turns ahead until something interesting happens. Oh god, the Ottoman Empire glitch. Oh, that can be a problem, isn't it? Which they all just get, like, clustered and stacked in Istanbul. The Russians want trade agreement. We have to give them selective breeding. Sure, I'm more than happy to trade with the Russian Empire. I do want to try and get an alliance with them at some future point. The Spanish want trade now for Gibraltar. Oh, we have Gibraltar? I forgot about that. The thing is, right, we're nearly better off giving those disputed territories to someone else. Because the thing is, right, the Spanish are going to have a hard-on for taking Gibraltar. And I don't particularly need it in this campaign scenario. So I'm going to give them Gibraltar. I wish I could see how much it was sort of making me. But to get trade, I'll counter for an alliance. Would you do that for an alliance? I fear these terms could be better, but I can agree to your offer. Yes! Good. So we've given them Gibraltar. We've gotten a military alliance out of it. Which, as long as they sort of stand with it, that's not too bad. So if we can sort of gang up on the French, that's our main ideal. So welcome to the top of the turn. What's going on here? So war declared. Prussia and Poland, Lithuania. And someone's lost a duel. Okay, so what I want to know now from what I could see, there wasn't actually even that much of a... No, there wasn't even an army down here in Gibraltar. It's only making 156 per turn, so we're probably going to get more from that Spanish trade. Anyway, okay, cool. Okay, guys, welcome to the moment you have all been waiting for. The war against the United States. Great Britain is about to declare war upon them and start the, well, Second American Revolutionary War, I suppose. I've skipped a little bit ahead, simply because logistically it took me 10 turns to recruit and move 20,000 redcoats to the northern border here. We currently have John Churchill in command. We have 4 full stacks here ready to go against the Americans. Looking at their army build, they probably have about 10,000 troops, maybe further in the south. So we do outnumber them 2 to 1. And it actually took me about an hour, especially with like the crazy Ottoman loading times. I just didn't think it was very good viewing. So we have skipped a little bit ahead. So I'll recap what sort of happened, but nothing majorly. So we'll start off with the American theatre. We have John Churchill here. He's going to be leading the command. We have Paul Butterfield. We have Sir Guy here as well. We've also got Timothy Gosling. And we have another army in Quebec. We've got the Royal British Navy holding the port. I don't particularly want to go down and blockade just yet because I did see the American Navy and it was quite large. I don't know where it is at the moment though. We have spies, gentlemen and priests giving us eye of sight against the Americans. So we're going to be having some good wars, some good battles in the coming minutes, I guess. Okay, so what's happened over in Britain? We still have a large army here with John Moore. I've decided to peace out with the French. I never actually invaded France. Now, peace did come at a cost. They have taken Flanders, stupid, sexy Flanders, and knocked out Belgium. So, for peace with France, we had to give them the Leeward Islands down here in the Caribbean, and sort of an uneasy peace, but a peace nonetheless. Over in India, we are currently at war with the Mughal Empire. We haven't had any significant wars against them. They are just constantly raiding my tea production and stuff, so I've had to leave. Walter Pennington here, and Giles Stibbett with Indian troops and East India Company as well. So let's go over to the Americas here now and declare war. King George is still our monarch, of course. Rightio, let's get stuck in. So let's declare war upon the United States of America and call our allies against Ellis here. So let's declare war. Spain, France are their allies. The Maratha Confederacy, Naples, Spain, Savoy, Austria, Iroquois, Sweden, Poland, Lithuania, the United Provinces, and Portugal stand with us. Well, at the moment, before the war deck comes in. So, war against George III and Elias here. Let's do it. War has been declared. The United States has broken their alliance with the Dutch. The United States and the Spanish have broken their alliance, and they've also broken their alliance with the French. No significant major European power will stand with the United States. The Austrians, the Iroquois, the Marathas, Polish, and Portugal will stand with us. However, Sweden, Spain, the Dutch, Savoy, and Naples refuse to fight the Americans. Let's close the panel there, and let's get stuck right into them. So the first battle of the American War will be just outside Boston, New England. We're going to be fighting them here today. Okay, so let's move over our Canadian border here. So let's send Timothy Gosling here to secure Albany, New York. Then we need to get Maine as well. So the first battle is going to be a minor skirmish just on the coast of Albany, upstate New York. Okay, so we've engaged Thomas Brown here. He's got about 1,000 Americans. So we're going to auto-resolve this one out as I want to play the battle for Boston. So let's auto-resolve this one. Victory! 553 redcoats lost their lives, but we did kill 533 of... No, okay, right. So they killed... Yeah, right. So we lost that. We killed 805, right. Still getting used to... Empire. It's been a while since I've actually played that. Good. So we've knocked out this army. Now this army is going to be able to besiege Albany, upstate New York. Okay, so unfortunately you don't have any movements, do you, Guy? No, you don't. So we'll send Butterfield to besiege Boston. Let's continue the siege, and we will send our major army here, John Churchill. Now, this army has Scottish Highlanders. We've also got some German Grenadier Infantry. We've got the King's Royal Regiment of New York, along with stock standard Grenadiers and sort of line infantry. This army here as well, mostly made up of colonial lines. We've got some other German ones here as well, and Paul Butterfield mostly has line infantry. We have another army being constructed in Quebec, and we're going to have a new general and more reinforcements eventually as well. Okay, cool. Well, let's get stuck into the first battle. Let's attack this one here, and I would imagine the Americans are going to stand and fight, and they are. Callum Shovel, and who is this? Who's reinforcing there? I want to know who this is. We're not going to know, unfortunately. So, we have just shy of 10,000 redcoats facing about 4,000, more nearly 5,000 Americans here in the battle for Boston. Let's chuck a quick save. Excellent stuff. Well, let's have the first battle in the Revolutionary War. So, I'll see you guys on the battle map. So most of their army is made up of Grenadiers, the Delaware Line Infantry, 88th Regiment of Foot. They've got some Continental Marines as well, and they do have a decent amount of artillery. They've got a lot of long riflemen and minutemen as well, which is great to see. Good. Let's fight this one on the field of battle here today. Okay guys, welcome to the battle map. Let's get stuck right into the deployment. So we have the Battle of Boston here, a small town, the city of Boston in the center there, and then we've got the left and right sort of flanks. Okay, so we can really expand far around here. So do we want to try and avoid them? Are they going to be sort of intertwining within the city? That's what I would ideally like to know. Okay, so let's try and make a strong, long front line as best as we can. So, let's move my cannons further back, along with my general's bodyguard, and we shall put cavalry on the left and right flank. So, let's get the entirety of our infantry here, and let's make a strong, long, cohesive front line. We could even use this farmhouse to our advantage, but I don't imagine we're probably going to. So, let's try and expand this as far and as long as possible. Is that going to work? It seems to be. Yeah, we want something more aligned like this. Okay, but we don't want to make it too thin, of course. So, we can expand all the way there. I think it's because of that for some reason. There we go. So this is the line ideally we want. Now, it's going to be interesting to see how the Americans play this one here. So let's try and deploy as far out like this as we can. I'm very happy and competent with this. Good, good. That's a strong, nice, long front line. We're probably going to be nearly playing like a couple of battles here. Okay, so there's our front line here. Okay, cavalry-wise, we'll put you within the left flank, and then we'll send the 2nd Regiment of Dragoons here as well. We'll put them on the far right. I don't know how sort of far my artillery is going to be able to shoot, but we'll see how we go. Okay, so let's unlimber our artillery here, and let's move my general up as here, John Churchill, a descendant of Winston Churchill, of course. In this alternative timeline, I'm sure Winston will hear his ancestors' somewhat exploits in the Americas and grow up hearing about it. Okay, so let's move you back here slightly. I think here is probably our best bet for our cannons, shooting something up into this. Now, the range is about 800 or so from what I can remember, so we can actually shoot there quite competently. Okay, let's move our secondary artillery over probably... There's a bit of a slope here. However, if we angle it right, I think it would be very much in our best interest to do that. Okay, so let's angle this. So basically what we want to do is we want to have our artillery able to be pulled, like we want to be able to throw infantry over to cover it if we need to be, because we need to protect our artillery as best we can. Artillery is basically make or break in this game. So let's have a look at some of these units before we get stuck in. So here is John Churchill, of course, going to be the supreme commander in the Americas front. We need to have a strong, cohesive sort of army unity, especially with the hierarchy as well. We're fighting as one cohesive organism to strangle the Americas. So here are the first foot of Scottish Highlanders. Let's have a look at some of the Grenadiers. Let's have a look at the 7th, and let's have probably a look at the New York divisions as well. So we have the 8th Grenadier troops here as well. Let's have a look at the 7th, which is operating further down here. Man, some of the unimodels on this look fantastic. And let's have a look at the King's Royal Regiment of New York. I imagine these are American Royalists, I would imagine. Okay. Alright, let's end the battle. Sorry, let's end the deployment and continue. So how are the Americans going to stand and fight for this one? Okay. We do have our own reinforcements coming in as well. So the 8th Regiment of here, 1st Delaware, seem to be standing here. And they've actually decided to split their armies up a bit. Okay, let's allow my artillery to fire upon this with impunity, because they're out in range, and we'll fire upon this as well. Good. Looks like they're going to try and move into position, but we're going to absolutely rain fire and death upon these guys. We've got really good cannon fire shots. Fire! Okay. The shot isn't the best. So I don't know what they're trying to do here. They may be trying to rally up a bit. Okay, my cannons here are probably better off hitting this back tier unit, as it's a little bit more flush. That would be better. But one of the major problems for the defeat of the British in the Revolutionary War was just sort of the generals, really. There was no sort of cohesion. There was no sort of organisation. Every general sort of wanted to have glory for himself. But we're fighting under one man here now. We're fighting under John Churchill. Now, I don't know what the fuck the AI is doing here, but we've managed to clip some there, which is good. We might have to speed things up until they make sort of a decision of what they want to do, because they seem to be sort of hanging out within the town centre here. Maybe if we move up. They will have their own artillery as well, slowly but surely moving in. But we're going to try and sort of skirmish them as best we can. They are moving their 2nd Regiment of their own I can't even say dragoon. Getting tongue-tied. Okay, so let's just continue to hit them. Yeah, we'll just hold as best we can. You never know, they might even cavalry charge me here or something stupid. We just need to keep an eye up on that. We'll keep the cavalry here as well. Keep an eye on it, boys. They are moving their cavalry around. Yeah, just keep on hitting it, man. Keep on hitting it as best you can. Well, that was a good shot there. Alright, let's sort of speed things up a bit. Oh! It looks like they're going to try and charge me. I'm going to have to halt here. And what I need you guys to do is quickly double time to this position. So it does look like the Americans are going to be a little bit cheeky here. So we need to essentially halt. Stop them firing at will. So they're going to do a direct cavalry charge, which is interesting. Okay, try and push into this. Quickly now, men. Okay, so we're getting some shots off here. They've foolishly moved up their cavalry. And the 7th Grenadier Division and the 3rd Regiment now are firing at the false charge. Looks like they might move up their secondary unit. My artillery is still hitting theirs on this far side. Let's continue to do that. Have we very much wasted this? We've only killed 40 within that false charge. Okay. We still aren't in range anymore, I don't think. Yeah. I think they're just sort of trying to sort of rally up. Okay, so they seem to be moving up more units here. They're going to try and head-on charge the 5th Grenadiers. No way. Why would the Americans be so suicidal? And they're also moving in their general's bodyguard. Man, I do know that the AI for Empire can be real fucking AIDS, but this is atrocious. Alright, we need to keep an eye on the cannons here as well. So they're moving up cannon... Right, hang on a minute. They're moving up cannons here. I was going to see if I could get some cavalry around. Maybe not. Okay, let's continue to get my artillery to fire into this. If you guys want to see sort of full campaigns as Great Britain and the Americas, as the United States, I have done campaigns. It was a while ago on the channel, maybe 2 years ago, so the videos might be a bit dated, but I can't remember off the top of my head the AI being this bad, especially in this battle. You want it to be epic and sort of open, but maybe that's more to do with Empire itself. Okay, well, let's try and continue this. They are slowly moving their troops in. Like, I can imagine, like, hiding and using the town for cover, then charging, but it's just a bit mental. So, they've actually charged me head on here. And what's this? The enemy general, John Sullivan, is dead. So, they've actually dismantled us here quite well. There's 64 remaining. Okay, the Americans are forming up here now, and we're actually firing against them on the right flank. Let's continue to bombard this unit as best we can. And we'll continue to hit these reinforcements coming within. So we're actually getting a good front line battle here. The 7th Regiment of the United States is engaging our Grenadiers head on. Okay, now I can sort of angle these guys a bit better if we want to, which is probably not a bad shout, as they seem to be sort of clustering a lot more here. Okay, so let's try and angle this as best as we can and try and get into a better quality position. You might even be able to push for this as well and use this to our advantage. Okay, right flank, try and envelop a bit more as best we can, because you're basically sitting here and not doing anything. These guys have reformed their line quite well. Okay, let's continue to get my artillery to hit there. So they seem to be clustering in this center here, and they do seem to be making a bit of an effort. Okay, so we have my own cannons here. What I want to know is how far is canister shot, because you're nearly fucking in range to hit like a canister shot from there. So if we go with a canister shot, what's the range on canister shot? Oh, it is. Fire the canister shot! Go, 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 gadget! These guys are still holding. Good. And now that's gone. Yeah, fire a canister shot straight into this. So we have routed the 7th Regiment, and the 8th Regiment of the 1st Delaware seems to be holding for now. I want... Push further back. You're gonna get mass friendly fire if you're not careful there. Fire into that. Keep you further back. Okay, so we've actually moved here and angled ourselves quite well. And we're moving you here as well. If we could use the terrain to our advantage, that would be a good shout. Okay, let's move my cavalry over here. So they seem to be forming up here, trying to push me. Okay, let's continue with the canister shot there, because it seems to be doing quite well. They're trying to form up squares here. I don't know what exactly is going on there in particular. Okay, try and fire into that cluster there if you can. The canister shot is now basically useless. Let's switch back and try and hit that. Okay, so we're going to try and hold a front line here, which is good. I could push for that, but I think we'll be okay here. They seem to be reacting a lot better within this flank, though. So is there much more on this other side? No, we might be able to try and go for an envelopment here. We are fighting them quite well. Okay, nothing really much else is going on here. They've decided to go with an interesting formation there. Okay, let's turn off canister shot and go back to a toggled round and fire into that. And we'll continue to sort of hit to the back end of this. We'll wait for this to rout and then we'll form up. So they seem to be fighting more so on the right. They seem to be concentrating a bit more. Okay, let's maybe go with some cavalry charges. They're swinging back here. What's actually hanging back here? Cavalry, artillery. I'm just trying to see if I can see a point of weakness. Potentially a chance to flank with cavalry. Now, I could move up to this fortified wall, which probably wouldn't be a bad shout. However, just even looking at this, I don't even think it's going to be good, because we can't get everyone across, and especially this is going to keep on trying stretching us here. We're better off holding this here with the Highlanders and firing into this. I don't know what the AI is doing here. This is a fucking disgrace. Hilarious. If you like that sort of thing, but Oh, the battle for the American Revolution. These guys are clueless. Look at this. This is unreal. Oh. Okay, we need to put these guys out of their goddamn misery. Okay, right. So, let's try and move this around here. And angle this a bit better. Let's try and finish these poor bastards off. So essentially, try and do something like that. But essentially not with the N tier units. We really can allow the last two here to make a like secondary line there. Okay, cavalry itself can be pulled here. So yeah, unless they're trying to push for that front line, I can't see any rhyme or reason why they're trying to do that. Like, we'll try and envelop here where we can. We've got some good coverage here within the trees. My cannons are still firing. It does look like it's trying to react. But they're just hitting my solid front lines one by one, and we're just going to beat them with better quality troops. Like, there's not really too much they can do about it. We could get a dragoon charge around the back. That might be an alright idea. But we could cop a volley, though. That's the problem. Yeah. Look, flank and try and get some range. But I just kind of wish they were sort of willing to stand and fight. I just don't know what's causing them to do this. We're enveloping our left flank now. Okay, looks like we've got some units here coming out to meet us. Which is interesting. We're going to be able to flank side on here. Essentially, we could do that because they're going to seem to stand and fight. Let's hit them on the angle there. Oh, they might have some dragoons ready to charge out against us here. We'll hit these guys on the side. There's 300 before the initial charge. I'm going to halt a fire order. We'll send in our dragoons here on the second. These guys seem alright, but it's really this that's causing the problem. So, we've charged into this now. Let's give them hell. Let's swing further around this way. Let's allow my artillery to fire into that. Let's move you out here now. Back around. And let's allow the Highlanders to focus on this. So with that one charge, we only managed to get 20 or so kills. Let's move you guys here as well. Let's move you back. So let's allow the Highlanders to fire into that. Okay, you're doing okay here. We've actually allowed a charge to flank us there, so that's not good. However, we're going to be able to plug it up quite well. So they are trying to... It's like they're trying to match me, but they just can't have the... They just don't have the right pathfinding for some reason. Okay. We're going to be able to destroy... Like, why is it a good idea to get anywhere in range of canister shot? Because we're just going to absolutely rinse them. The enemy general's dead. Callum is dead as well. I'm going to be able to do that. Okay, we're fighting them there on this other flank. We're actually engaging them quite well here. We're still battling it out on this right-hand flank. We're still protecting our cannons here. You're nearly better off to push something like that. Okay, so we're actually... Okay, this could be a little bit more... Right, this needs to be massively reformed. Like that. Okay, let's allow... Oh, where's the yeah. Allow the cavalry to run that down. That's what we want, that's what we want. And then get everyone here. Bar that cavalry unit charging to reform. Like that. Okay, let the cavalry run it down now. Okay, what's happening in this? Okay, that cavalry there's been flanked as well. What's further back here now? Cavalry, 120. What's within this dragoon unit? 138. We could send both the cavalry units in. We're running down you guys here as well. Let's control a charge and get it into a better quality position. Yeah. Let's switch off canister shot, go back to a normal standard, and continue to fire into that. Man, the Americans have dealt a massive blow here today, due to, primarily, their own fault. Okay, most of the centre force is now fled, and there only seems to be some minor artillery remaining. Let's continue to shoot and put pressure on them. Okay, so how far is my cavalry away from there? We need to neutralise these cannons before they get set up. And there's 140 there, so let's go try and charge the top end of that, while you can't try and chop this way. We're actually going to completely rout it within our own shots. We're not even going to need the cavalry charge by the look of it. Okay, they're slowly but surely bringing more reinforcements in as well. They got a small... oh, shit, okay. They're being shot at there. Pull further back. Okay, some of their long regular rifles are getting the better of me here. So I'm going to have to push up into an advanced position to combat that. So that's kind of cool. We'll swing around this cavalry unit here and try and get a flank around them. You're holding here just fine. Oh god, we've still got that artillery unit holding out here. Fire for this. Essentially, we're going to advance our front line. Basically. So try and go for something like that. Okay, everyone needs to double time. Okay, we're hitting these long rifles now. We'll try swing around the back. I don't even know if cavalry flanking is even that good, because you're better off just allowing them just to continue to fire on them. I guess catching them here is probably not going to be a bad shout, but we just need to make sure to halt the fire at will. So we've got some of our own cavalry here, which shouldn't be there. Okay, so have the cavalry engaged them yet? No, they haven't. So let's try and swing here. Let's allow our dragoons to run them down. But it's going to be a massive defeat for the Americans. Even though they're being outnumbered 2-1, the AI being a bitch isn't going to help them. By the power of the British compel you. Look at this, man. We are shooting so far and such amount of rounds into them. We're smashing the walls behind. We're smashing the glass behind them. We've got a nice little dragoon engagement here. Okay, let's try and make this a little bit more within my favour, I think. Send some more in. Okay, let's send you around here. So, John Churchill will be victorious here today. We're advancing into the city. I can't wait to see what are the odds for this fight at the end of it. I think the Americans were unfairly, massively unfairly here thrown out. Oh! The American cavalry has smashed the dragoons. No way. I was ready to charge them. Draw your bayonets, boys. Let's send in the Royal Regiment of New York. Alright, let's push you guys here as well. And allow them to fire. Basically, everyone draw that and just charge it. Okay, they're not going to completely rout, which is good. Okay, let's get rid of these cannons here. But that's it. She's all over, Red Rover. We've destroyed We've destroyed the Boston garrison. And a couple of surrounding armies as well. Okay. My plans for the Americas is to not bring back the 13 colonies. Essentially, what I'm going to do is rule. That's it. Essentially, rule America as an extent of the British Empire. So, let's end the battle there. A heroic victory. Victory! We have victory. I should rename Boston to Stampville or something. John Churchill deployed, I said, roughly around about 10,000. I was correct. 9,204. 4,007. We lost 1,000 redcoats. But the British killed 3,334 Americans. There's only 1,000 remaining. So what did most of the work? The Scottish Highlander did amazing. 300 kills there. The Regiment Horse did 2-6. Whoa, 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 whoa. Grenadiers 4-7. There's a couple of high ones there. What was the 427? Oh, the Germans. Wow, okay. Victory, though. Let's close that. The Americans are going to flee further south. And there's not much they really can do about that. Okay, cool. So, we're going to allow now Paul Butterfield to take Boston. Okay, let's quickly chuck a hard save, which we have. Because this game is prone to crashes. Most of these mods are, and especially when you record for like an hour and a half, it adds further problems. So there's only 750 men within Boston. Let's demand surrender. They have refused. I just wanted to go for that for my own curiosity. Let's forcefully take it now. And now we've taken Boston. We can't repair it, of course. The Americans have fled back here with John Sullivan. Okay. So we can't allow everyone else to continue the assault. You can probably go... I want to kind of catch the Americans here if we can, you know what I mean? Alright, let's get rid of this army. And if I can move you... It's usually the cannons. That nuke movement. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Okay, you can move down here. We'll allow you to take Albany, and then we'll allow this to take Maine up next. Okay, cool. Well, let's end the turn and continue. So Boston has fallen. The Americans offer peace, but they want New France and Arcadia. Fuck off. Right. No. Well, I say. That's an appalling request. We'll offer peace. Let's... look, if you give me a bunch of territory and you're foolish enough to do so, I'll allow you to have peace. We'll build up and then we'll smash them again. New York, Maryland, and Maine for peace. Ha! So they tried to get some diplomacy. Oh, they've been pushed up here into Albany to stop the oncoming siege. We're going to be able to throw back 100 Americans or so. That's adding the death toll a hell of a lot higher here. I think they're quite weak as well, because they are at war with the Iroquois. They've been battling them for some years now. Okay, guys, welcome to the top of the turn. We've had an agent recruited within India. That's fine, we can probably push you down south to see the Mughals who have taken my port here. The electric pistol. And Georgia has been destroyed, I imagine, by the Russians. It's going to be interesting to see if the Americans can come back with this, with some American initiative, some ingenuity, but by the look of it, maybe not. I might need to move my fleet down south to continue to push the assault. Okay, so let's allow John Churchill now. Yeah, because you're not going to be able to do it. Let's allow John to take Maine. We'll push north here. And we'll demand surrender. Oh, they accepted. Wow, okay. Maine has turned. That's interesting. They actually accepted it. I can't remember what was actually in there. Okay, cool. So, this will allow this army at Fort Nashwauk in Arcadia to pull south. I've got this army here. Let's move you back to Boston as well. And let's control A, retrain. You could actually hit Albany as well, but there's another American force here further in the south. And I can't see many more. Let's pull you further here, because we might have to play that one. I want to get a couple battles of this episode. I don't want to be auto-resolving where I could play overly too much. Because I want to have a good epic war against the Americans, but I don't know if they're going to obviously give it to me. Okay, let's start raiding their ports. We're not going to be able to do that, but we can hit the port of Pennsylvania and Williamsburg. So let's do that. Let's push down here. We might even be able to intercept the Navy. So let's hit Philadelphia. So now that is destroyed. Let's hit Williamsburg, Virginia. And... are there any more ports in the Carolinas or anything? I can't actually click on... Can I go... Yeah, this is what we want. We want to go with American ports. So the only ones that are actually here. And then there's this one here. I don't think we can actually block it. I guess we're blockading the port of Albany, New York. Okay, so there's an army here of Americans. We could throw this one back, but this is a clean-cut victory. Okay. Right, so we've got an army here in Quebec as well. And we have a general coming within 2 turns. We might as well just wait. Okay, so we're going to allow Timothy Gosling to take Albany, upstate New York. And then we have Butterfield here. We could even send this army. Oh, okay. So one can only do that. You can go. You can't get to here. Oh, so you can actually take Albany, New York. Good. Do that. Okay, let's continue the siege. And we'll move this secondary army down here to strike the Americans. So go with somewhere like here. Okay. So what's actually within here? 900 American troops. So if I demand surrender, they accept as well. So does that mean those 2 units have been moved somewhere else? Or is it because of the garrison? I don't know. I would imagine you would surrender. There's goddamn 20,000 redcoats coming down from the northern Alps of Canada. Okay, so let's allow Timothy Gosling to push further south. I'm going to try and continue to move my agents as well, so I can get some line of sight to any American force. There could be some lurking within the Kentucky, Cherokee territory here. I don't know.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Whoa! Oh, shit. I didn't mean to do that. Oh, fuck. Butterfield has made the decision to take the bridge. I didn't mean to do that. Damn you, Butterfield. Alright, let's move half the army to Boston there. We'll control A merge to repair. And repair that as well. We'll wait for reinforcements here. You can hold up here just fine. And you can do the same there. Okay, cool. Let's allow Timothy Gosling to have a crack at these Americans. Okay, they're gonna have to stand and fight. So Timothy Gosling has 3,217 Brits with his general's bodyguard. Has 2 units of 1 lot of light cavalry, 1 unit of dragoons. He does have some German riflemen as well. We do have Colonial Light, along with our proper line infantry. We've also got the 5th Foot Northumberland Fusiliers line infantry. We don't have superior artillery like we did with Churchill's army. We've only got 6 horse archer artillery. And we've got a howitzer there, though. But that's going to make the difference, really. Cool, let's chuck a save and have this fight. Rightio then, guys, let's get stuck into the battle. I've done a hard save just in case the game crashed. It's going to be interesting to see how the AI reacts being outnumbered. What is this, like 4 to 1 here? I'd say Grenadiers, line infantry. We've got superior artillery firepower, and by the look of it, cavalry as well. I'm not asking for human-level AI, but just some sort of competence. Obviously, a human wouldn't put themselves in this sort of situation, but if you had to, you'd probably try and snipe the general, but the AI is not particularly going to do that. Stand by me, brave Grenadiers. Charles Lee, US General, his last words. Okay. But yeah, like I said, I'm not expecting human-level intelligence, but just a lot better than that last bloody fight. Okay, guys, welcome to the battlefield. We currently have our bodyguard here, of course, Timothy Gosling. I was just curious to see... Oh, okay, right. So this is Timothy Gosling here, right. What was I looking at here? The light horse? Or was it the dragoons? Because they've got, like... Yeah, it was the dragoons. They've got this, like, leopard print on their hair. Look at that! That's awesome. Okay, cool. Well, let's get stuck into it. It's a nice, wide open battlefield. Okay, but we're going to be able to really hold out the majority of it. So, let's go for about here, say... Oh, wow, we've got a couple of units. We've got a unit here which is really weak. Yeah. It's those Colonial Lightfoot. They are really sort of exhausted. Okay, so we'll try and spread this out. Oh, okay, there's a goddamn wall there. So here's probably our best bet then. Yeah, something like this. I don't know why it was blocking me there like that. Okay. That's a little bit too thin for my liking. Or is it more so just to do with that N tier unit? Because the thing is, right, you don't want it too thin and just in case a charge comes in. But also, you want it trying as thin as possible so you can get the max amount of rifle volleys going off and off and off. So we'll go for something like that there on the corner. Let's move our dragoons, which look superior. I imagine they are in the light. And, oh, there's these guys here as well. We'll probably put you... I was going to say, if you can somehow intertwine them with them, that would be ideal. Like, try and make something like that. Yeah, there we go. That's what we ideally want. And then something like this. Okay, cool. Right. Oh, we got 3 units of cavalry. Right, okay. Where's the best place to put the general? There's no artillery, so he's not overly going to get sniped. But in the tree line here is probably a safer bet. Okay, I think over on the right-hand side is going to be more beneficial for me for cavalry. They could hide within here and get angles on me. We're better off being out in the open field with these 2 guys, so we'll try and flank here. They do have some of their own cavalry. It's not crazily awesome from what I sort of saw, but still unpredictable. Right, let's move you here then. And keep you guys here, something like that. Okay, right, so we've got horse and we've got a howitzer. Okay, so what's the difference between these 2 here? They should both have 800 range. So these are the howitzer. They look sort of like a mortar sort of class. And then we've got the actual ones here. Okay, so where's the best place to deploy you? Tree line here. We might be able to snip them through there. We're better off being on this far right. I think that's far more beneficial. So we'll slightly move you back here as well. Move my cannons up here as best we can. Why can't you go higher up, friend? Yeah, that'll do for the time being. We'll move you further up once we can, and then we'll try and intertwine you like here. Yeah, it's really not allowing me to go so far up there, is it? There we go. We're somehow like bugging it though. I don't know how we're doing that. Okay, let's end the deployment and start the battle now, shall we? Let's quickly pause and move up a bit more where we can. Oh wow, we can't actually move them then without doing that. That's alright. We can still move there quite competently, and that can be still good here. Okay, cool. Right, let's allow my cannons to centralize this. They might even goddamn rout before they even get here. They've decided to cluster themselves. You've got to be taking the piss. Okay, continue to bombard into this then. Oh my god. Poor Americans. Continue to bombard as best we can. So it does look like they're just going to try and charge me straight up. And we're going to have a field day here. How do they not have any artillery in an open field battle like this? It's just insane. Okay, so they're trying to move some cavalry on the flanks here. They have to charge because they're just going to get torpedoed out. But you'd sort of try and go for the general. Or at least try and flank some units, you'd think. There's not much they really can do about it. Okay, so they're slowly but surely moving up to the center here. They're going to go for a fake charge into the artillery, but they're going to get taken out before they even get the chance. The last remaining cavalry within this division here. 1st Regiment of Horse. Okay, I'm going to swing back to a canister shot here. Okay, so the 8th Regiment of Foot is engaging. Okay. Let's swing these guys here. Let's allow my cavalry to envelop as well. And let's allow you. So they're just going to rout before we even have the chance to envelop them. Continue to let my artillery fire their canister shot into this. The 11th Regiment now is firing upon them as soon as they turn and leave their goners. Okay, continue to allow the mortar to hit that. Let's switch back to a standard round here. Hit the cavalry. Focus on the cavalry that's holding back there. Okay, so the 13th Regiment and the 8th are still holding. It looks like they might go with a cavalry charge in there. Don't do it. Fire into that. Their light dragoons are now pushing up. My canister shot's still going on here. Control A, double time. Yeah, let's just allow to continue to fire into that. So we're not causing friendly fire on our own cannons there because they're allowing them to shoot. They could be, but I don't actually know. Yeah, they are. You fucking moron. You just killed one of our own men. Halt. Goddamn fools. Alright, continue to fire into that. Continue to fire into this. Let's allow them to charge before I charge my cavalry in. Let's allow my men to do most of the heavy work. Christ almighty. They're still throwing canister shots into that. Okay, let's switch back now and hit this this first Legion formation holding up here. Okay. They're pushing further back here now. Alright, let's have a crack at them and then we'll swing around this higher sign. Right, let's try and finish these guys off. Men of the British Empire! Charge! Let's go for this general unit. They seem to be holding in this square. Not for long, though. Engage this. So they're in a squared formation at 75. How well do they fare against a cavalry charge straight up? Go into this. So after that charge, even though they're going to get some good bonuses being squared, they're not going to stand a chance. I'd love to sort of get a thing in there. 60... Yeah, there could be a problem there. Right, let's just halt. Okay, let's essentially get this flank here now to go on melee mode and charge. And let's allow our centre to go in melee mode and charge. So we were victorious there. It's going to be a hard fight here. We can move this out now. Because these Lancers are actually going to perform okay. But that's it. Another American army has bitten the dust. Man, if they actually put in a better performance in that first fight, they might have had a chance. But it was just so poor, wasn't it? The enemy general, Orel Galton, is dead. And let's end the battle there. Another heroic victory for the British. Okay, guys, welcome to the campaign map. Timothy Gosling deploying 3,200. Only lost 82 men upon the battlefield. Orel deployed just shy of 700 and lost 633. Here are the casualties sustained and casualties inflicted. If you're curious, Colonial Line 250, 227. How did our cannons do? That's the main thing. 8 and 20. Really? They did that less? Oh, okay. Alright, let's close that there, and we've destroyed that army. Good. So we're going to be able to take this port now, I think. Move you out within here. Yeah, we're actually going to be able to throw... We're going to throw their navy out, this small one here, and we're going to be able to decimate it as well. We've sunken a small fleet, and this should now allow us to continue to push up. If we actually go in there, we actually can repair a bit. No, we can't. Okay, Orel's there, fine. Albany's taken, New England, Maine. In 2 more turns, we'll have more reinforcements. We need to take Philadelphia, Maryland, Virginia. There might be a defense of Georgia and the Carolinas. We'll just have to see. Okay, cool. Let's end the turn and continue. See how the Americans react. We're not going to allow them to be a puppet of the puppet state of us. We don't want to bring back the 13 colonies. We want to rule the eastern half of the United States as our own. Okay, welcome to the top of the turn. So, we've got another spy here. That's okay. Hanover's been destroyed. Enemy raid. Oh, that's the Mughal Empire again. We still have to maintain a large sort of presence there, don't we? I think I had a navy somewhere here. No, that's fine. We're at peace. Okay. On the world stage, we're good. We've basically thrown everything we've got into the American theatre to throw these scoundrels out. Okay, so... Alright, so Georgia, Charleston seems to be very much undefended. However, Philadelphia has a decent garrison within, which is interesting. Okay, well, let's continue south to try and find the American Navy, I imagine. Yeah, we can't seem to see, so I guess we sort of continue to block the port of Philadelphia until we try and take it. Okay, so we're still a little bit further out before we can send more reinforcements within. Okay, are we exempting taxes from too many places? There are bad conquest penalties as such. Okay, so we should have some more ships coming along soon as well. Okay, so if we can move this army out, that would be ideal. So that's going to not rebel on us, which is good. Alright, let's move to New England itself. Let's try and move everyone in bar them. Yeah, that's what we sort of want to do. So Control A, move here. And I'm sure we can find a replacement for them. Yeah, that's what we want. We want to get that out. Okay. Yeah, these two units were from Fort Nashwauk, wasn't it? Okay, let's move you further south. Okay, so can we hit Philadelphia here? We're going to be in very close range. We have to take Philadelphia first, the capital of the states in this time period. So let's go with Paul Butterfield to start the assault. Let's continue. Let's push here as well with you. And we've got this army here as well. So let's move you in here as well. So we're going to take Philadelphia quite easily by the look of it. Firelock armed militia, accuracy 25 mob. They do have some Pennsylvania rifles, but most of these are militmen and militia, the last remnants of their army. Okay, let's move you here as well. You can sit here, that's fine. Unfortunately, you can't get further south. So Maryland, Virginia, the Carolinas. Okay, so let's try and continue to find some more American armies. It doesn't look like they're lurking up in the north in Tennessee. We got any more spy range? Like somewhere down there might be an idea. But by the look of it, this will be the Americans' last stand. And there's not really too much they can do about it. We're going to continue to improve infrastructure in America, as the roads are goddamn shit everywhere. Okay, so by the look of it, it doesn't look like there's going to be much more of a last stand further in the south as well. This is it. This is make or break for the Americans, and it's going to be a break. So we're going to have the siege of Philadelphia now. Okay, so who should I fight with? Butterwell. Probably Timothy, I think. Gosling has probably got the better army. I quite like that build. These guys have some more grenadiers and more sort of colonial dragoons. Yeah, we're going to fight with Butterfield's army, even though it's a little bit weak, rough around the edges. However, it's got chevroned men, battle-hardened. Actually, we nearly probably better fighting with this one. Yeah, we're better fighting with Sir Guy. Yeah, let's push into Pennsylvania now. So, by the look of it, we have well over 10,000, nearly 11,000 British troops against 3,000 Americans. They're bringing 1 unit of artillery, 1 unit of Colonial Garrison 1st Regiment here. They've got some Pennsylvanian archers? Rifles! Colonial Garrison here, Minutemen, and some Firelock troops as well. Okay, well, let's assault and fight this one on the battlefield. Okay guys, welcome to the battlefield. So, the foolish Americans have decided to fight us on the field of battle here today. They're going to come out and try and meet us, which is interesting. Okay, cool. Let's move up, make a strong, long, stock standard front line and attack. It is currently snowing as well. We're fighting in the north of Philadelphia. Man, you've had a crazy, Americans watching, you've had a crazy sort of weather front. The news has reached me down here in a down under Australia. I saw some crazy images of Chicago frozen and stuff. It just looks awesome. And heaps of landlords being cunts about fucking the heating and stuff. I saw one guy that I saw a post or whatever that the landlord pays for the yeah, right, so the landlord turned off his heating even though he pays for it. But the landlord himself pays for the power bill in his apartment, so he turned the stove on and a fan to keep himself warm. I love American ingenuity. Right, where are we? So, let's try and get some artillery shots off here. That is not good because there's a bit of a hill there. You kind of want something probably a bit down low. You're not going to get... you either want something a bit up high to shoot down on. We might be able to get some units there. It's going to be a close one, that. Okay, so try and move you here, say. And we'll move the first lot of artillery here. As high up as we can. And then pull you like here, say. For the love of God, this time, you need to turn off fire at will. I need to remember that. Because you were getting a bit of friendly fire before. So, that's actually not too bad. They're like firing down into that dip. But there's a lot of trees there, and I think the majority of the force is going to be in the center here. There's a bit of shrubbery here, which would be a pain. It's basically, if they are anywhere within this sort of V between the trees here, that's going to be a problem. So we're better off even centralizing both of them, I reckon. And going like... you really need to just sit next to each other, to be perfectly honest. But we'll try and... You're actually better off operating here. It's just not the best for artillery. They've picked a good spot, the Americans, to come out against me in Philadelphia. It's always sunny in Philadelphia. Flip, Philadelphia. Flip, Philadelphia. Right, let's get stuck in. Right, where are we looking now? Good. Alright, there we go. Let's end the deployment and go. So what's sort of happening here now? They've made a long front line, and they moved up their artillery there. Okay, so what I want you to do is fire straight into basically that. That's going to compound that. If we can try and knock out some of that artillery, and essentially what I want you to do is try and hit something like this. Whoa! No way! Enemy general killed. Basil bloody Brush is dead. I guess the artillery unit was a general unit and we just sniped him somehow. That's crazy. Okay, well let's try and wipe out their artillery here. And really go for it. Yeah, we must have done it. That's fucking bonkers. So they're angling a bit better than they were in the first fight, but we'll see how we go. Okay, good. Hopefully we can clip some of the back tier units as well. Man, this is absolutely beautiful. Yeah, they're hitting the hill there, so that's the problem with you guys. You're better off trying to hit this end unit. So the firelock armed citizens. How do these guys look? The flintlock sort of guys. God, rambled up together. 1st Regiment. So yeah guys, let me know in the comments if you're enjoying these Flashpoint campaigns. I've been having a blast. It allows me to upload different campaigns at a lot quicker rate. And I've been having a blast and you guys have been enjoying it as well. So let me know, and the top rated comment will be an upcoming video. So they've deployed spikes like sideways as well. So let's continue to just fire upon them where we can. There's not really too much we can do about it. Okay. Because they have their own artillery here. I was going to say I could swing some cavalry around to flank, but they seem to be protecting it quite well. And they've even got some guys further back here even protecting in a defensive position. Okay, so they're pushing up here now. They have to push uphill. I'm not going to like that. Okay. I could envelop my flank a bit more. Just to give this an over-resounding defeat. Yeah, swing something like that. Because now we know the range on them. And try and get this wrapped up a bit quicker. Yeah, push into something like that. Swing around with my cavalry as well. Get the dragoons on the left flank. As they move away from that artillery, we're going to need to neutralize it, so let's do that. Looks like they're actually going to fall back out from their position. Yeah, the brow of the hill there, the high rise of it, seems to be giving them a bit of an advantage, isn't it? Hit these guys further back. We're swinging into a better formation now. Go like that. 500 men in that one unit. You've got to be kidding me. I wasn't expecting that. That's a lot of dudes. Things only about... Well, to be fair, some of our trained ones have about 300 or so, don't they? Let's go for you then. Okay, this is a lot better. They're trying to make a front line. And they're getting a good angle on them. Man, it's like pulling teeth sometimes trying to get the AI to do stuff. Now, this is a bit of a suicide run. Because they've set up a really nice trap here. They're in a fortified position with regular infantry. Oh, they've got stakes there. You cheeky buggers. They've actually done me quite well there. You need to swing for something like... Oh. There is a small narrow corridor there. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to go through it. Oh, you cheeky bug. That's actually not too bad. Because of the hill there, we can't actually push through. We're actually wavering a bit though. No, 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 no. Oh. Fuck's sake. Okay, so that's now routed there. That's good. I don't know why that's routing there like that. Tired, encouraged, friendly, broken. They actually broke. That's so foolish. Okay, so that's here just fine. That's that. Okay, you fire onto that. And then there's you guys here. Yeah, continue to support this. So this has turned into a pretty big firefight here. And now my general seems to be getting sniped. If we lost Timothy, that'd be bad. Okay, you're good here then. So try and swing around here, dragoons. So the dragoons are going to come back. Eventually. But they've only lost 5 men. So it's not going to be too much there. Okay, let's go with the canister shot. This is a lot better. They know this is make or break. They've been fucking around for the last couple of battles. And now they want to put in the effort at the last minute. Typical Americans. I kid. Right. So that's good there. They're holding out here. We're getting that canister shot off quite well. These guys aren't firing. So they're back now. Yeah, let's just try and move you here then. The problem is those cannons, isn't it? Okay. Let's move you here. And you're just going to have to shoot up and over. Okay. That's good. They're fighting there. We could get around those back... No, let's try and hit these guys routing. That's what we should be doing. Okay, that's getting some nice shots there. I'm trying to think, should I advance this line even further up? Probably. So what seems to be holding here? A regular garrison there. They're moving up here more so as well. Okay, let's allow my arty to try and shoot where you can. Continue with the canister shot here as well. Now we're about to trash this line here. Okay, good. Let's swing around the back here because we're going to be able to hit these guys from behind really well. Okay. Good. There's 200 or so there. Swing down this way. Right, you swing around the back of that. We're really trying to aggressively try and run them down here as best we can. Try and advance and go, and wrap this up. Okay, so a cavalry charge is going to come around the back here. They've moved away from their fortified stance. Let's go with a horse sandwich here. And try and surround them from both sides. Let's get the hammer and anvil in. Go on, men. Charge. $137 for the initial charge. How many now? Oh, maybe that wasn't it then. Maybe it was this other one. It was kind of hard to see. They were locking in between. Okay. They're on the back foot now. Oh, there's one unit here that seems to be holding out. Let's continue to push up where we can. Good, we got him now. Finish them. Yeah, I guess those stakes routed them. I don't know. That's crazy. Finish and target them off. They've completely routed now. It's just these guys here. And now they're gone. Victory! We got them. Heroic victory again. Okay, guys, welcome to the campaign map. So Sagai deployed 12k against the Americans 3k. We lost 523, and we killed 2,689 Americans. And they lost their entire army. Of course, you most want to pause and have a look at the casualties sustained and casualties inflicted. Boom! Pennsylvania is under British control. We've taken 4 American settlements now. Good. Let's move you out. I would imagine the last remaining American strongholds will more than likely surrender. But we'll see how we go. We still need to defeat the United States. Even after they've lost Philadelphia, they still stand defiant. Okay, well, let's end the turn and continue. Oh, this must be one of my recruited fleets, I imagine. I'm still trying to continue my superior naval capacity, a fiscal naval capacity, if you will. Okay, guys, welcome back to the top of the turn. Man, the Mughals are still bloody raiding us here, which is a pain. Okay, regardless, let's finish off the United States here. Okay, let's continue on. So, let's try and allow you to hit the furthest point. So we'll allow Butterfield to take Williamsburg, Virginia now. Demand surrender. Accepted. They basically know it's inevitable now. Okay, so we're going to continue to be aggressive. Let's push for the Carolinas here in Charleston. Okay, we'll continue to repair our recently conquered towns as best we can. And we'll move you into Maryland. Looks like the Iroquois are coming out now to contend. Let's demand surrender as well. They've refused. Wow, there's actually not too bad of a final stand there in Maryland. Alright, let's move this secondary army up. You can move here. And we should have a full stack here in Quebec now. John Gaspard Lemarchant. Sounds awfully French. I don't know though. Right, we could wait for one more unit, but I'm not going to. Let's control A merge and move you out. Good. We've got a little bit of cash. We're trying to get our infrastructure up where we can, so we can move around our provinces as quickly as possible. Okay. Well, if they don't want to demand the surrender, that's fine. We'll see how we go here, because okay, that's a lot better. I was going to say I might give it one more turn before we auto-resolve this one out. We've got Knox here, Johnny Knoxville. Going to stand and fight. Victory! Maryland is now ours, and they've lost another major capital. So all all that is left to the United States is the Carolinas. And good old King George III is becoming quite a king indeed. George the Conqueror of the Americas. Let's exempt this from tax for the time being, because they aren't particularly happy in Philadelphia. Okay, we can send half the army back, which is good. Except for the Dragoons. Yeah, everyone bar the Dragoons can move back, because I don't want a rebellion. That would be just what I need, the AI to spawn a stack on me. Okay, cool. Let's end the turn and continue. Yeah, I'm still pushing my spies and stuff down, but I think that's it. I think she's all over Red Rover. We're mopping up the last of the United States here today. Rightio, welcome back to the top of the turn. Agent recruited. Okay. More of my fleet coming along as well. Okay, well, let's move back to the Americas and see what we're working with now. Right, so are there any American armies hanging around here? No, not by the look of it. Looks like a Cherokee Nation army's pushing up. Okay, so let's move Timothy Gosling to Charleston. We will repair Virginia, and we'll move out Butterford. Virginia! I always think of bloody John Carter when I hear Virginia. I don't know why. It's just that stupid voice, isn't it? Virginia! Okay, right. Let's continue to move Churchill down as well. I don't reckon we're going to need 3 stacks down in the south, to be perfectly honest. Okay, everything seems to be coming up Millhouse here as well. And we're repairing where we can. Cool, cool. Let's end the turn and continue. So, Georgia and Charleston still remain defiant. We're going to have to sort of keep a large garrison in the New World if you want to maintain this British supremacy, I imagine. Bring back the stamp duty and high taxes, but we just need to sort of, well, keep control over these new provinces a bit better than last time. Hindsight's a bitch. Welcome back to a top of another turn. Suspicious death. Gentlemen. Oh, great. The American assassinated one of my dudes. Okay, right. Let's allow Timothy Gosling to hit Georgia. And let's we'll demand surrender. They accepted. Okay, I'm just curious if Charleston will accept a surrender. Refused, because I imagine that's it. This is their last stand here. Okay, let's move Churchill in as well. And let's allow Supreme Commander Churchill of the British Empire to deal the final blow. He can't. Oh well, he's going to be the major commander anyway. Regardless, let's finish off the United States, as it will be rewritten out of history. The rebellion. Victory is ours. More traits. And that's it. She's all over Red Rover. The United States has been destroyed. This nation has been destroyed. Its home region having fallen into enemy hands. A once great nation will become nothing more than a footnote in history. The United States has been destroyed. We've taken the Carolinas now. And diving back into diplomacy, we're still at war with the Mughal Empire, but the United States is no more. Yes. Commander John Churchill. What, 3, 6, 7-star commander with the vision of the pious King George has taken the United States of America. And on that note, it's time to end the Empire Total War Great Britain Darth Mod campaign here today, the Flashpoint campaign. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it as much as I've had. I've had a blast playing it here today. The two other battles were a lot better than the first. I was just so disappointed. Like, that was it. That was make or break for the Americas. That was the crossroad, the turning point, the moment of truth for the Americans, and they really got cucked by the AI, if I'm being perfectly honest. So, thanks guys for watching this Flashpoint campaign. I'm going to be moving on to another in the next couple of days. The top rated comment will be a Flashpoint campaign in the future, so let me know in the comment section down below now. So let me know the Total War or mod. For now I want to do Total Wars. We could do other Hearts of Iron and other games in the future, but I want to stick with Total War just as sort of the pilot week is sort of going on, as it will. So let me know the Total War / mod, the faction you'd like me to play as, the Flashpoint scenario and crisis, and a specific objective to achieve. Here today, the main objective was to destroy the United States of America, allow them not to come back, and pretty much have British superior rule in the Americas. And we've done that here today. Maybe even leave like a sentence or two explaining the scenario, like maybe some interesting points as well. That would help out a bunch as well. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more Let's Plays and Flashpoint campaigns on the channel. Unfortunately guys, it is time to end the video here. Thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know in the comment section down below your feedback for the series, and if you'd like to see more, that's the best way to ensure more content. Leave a dislike if you're not enjoying the series. Check out my social media links if you want to stay connected with me. Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, all in the description below. Highly recommend Twitter. Every single time I post a video, a tweet goes out. It's much more reliable than the YouTube sub box. These days, to get all the notifications for the channel, you have to click the bell, of course, to join the notifications squad. I do enjoy reading those comments. Patreon and merchandise link in the description below, along with the Steam group. Come and join the community on Steam. And on that note, unfortunately, I have to end the video here. Thank you very much for watching once again. Make sure to take care of yourselves. Go out and have a fantastic rest of your day. My name has been Simpzy. Goodbye. Really close cinematic shots here, pushing through the bridge. Oh, look at... That was probably the shot of the video there.